Hello, hello.
Creating a live broadcast. The room is not.
Hello.
I unlock this room though. Okay, let me unlock this room. Change the setting. People, the room is now unlocked. Okay. Oh, I had to cough. Hey everybody, it's Social Chats Follow Friday, and I'm Tonya Schultz. I'm here with my co-host, the dude Dean.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey dude.
You're anime and I'm on fire.
I feel like a pumpkin today.
I'm sure you feel just fine.
Imagine. Well, for this show, I'm gonna put a filter. I'm gonna put something in the background of it.
Okay.
Streaming through Facebook. Facebook will let you have a snap camera, but they won't give you a background. Like on Zoom, I can have a background and a snap camera. So, but lucky we have whatever we have right now. But we're waiting to hear about Facebook and their audio social network that they're supposed to be developing. But I want to talk a little bit about what has happened recently. Actually, I think it was last night or the night before. Was that Wednesday night? I think. Let me look it up. But nowadays the big social network is about audio, and as you know, Dean, we started it. Remember we streaming on the radio?
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't think radio is a technology that's going to go away. Plus, think about this: everybody, drives around their car.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really watch things in your car. You can listen to things.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I used to have a boss. One of my old bosses was he was into audiobooks.
I
He
have
would
an
do the audio. He'd cruise around and listen to audiobooks. So
I liked it. I used to listen to, when I worked for Toshiba, I used to listen to Brian Tracy and Earl Nightingale, because they made these tape, cassette tape, and I listened to that all day long, the same thing over and over and over and over, and it really helped me. I mean, it helped me in my sales techniques and how I approach people and how I talk to them. So I totally believe in you are what you listen to. If you listen to it and you believe in it and you get into it, I think it's a good thing. So we only have 30 minutes. Let me look at the timer. I'm gonna let you know we start download this thing. It is now, we got 31 minutes and 20 seconds. So it started at the perfect time. So the show
we're only going to do a half hour.
Yes, only 30 minutes. So it's gonna be, we have to set a timer. Last time we tested it and we did it for 120 minutes. So guess what? On IGTV or on Instagram, they only let you do it for an hour. They let you have 1 hour show. You can upload it up there for 1 hour. But anything more than that, they don't let you. But I can, stream it on YouTube. I can put it on Twitter, all that stuff. But, this is our live studio audience type of deal. So eventually we're going to grow it back again, have more people join us in the room. But right now, it's just no one really knows it unless they're part of our group page. Unless you want to mention something on your page and I'll mention something. But we can do, and then this will be uploaded and then we live stream out into the fan page. So FYI, everybody wants to know if anyone's watching, but there's nobody here right now, but they will be. So what should we talk about? A lot has happened this week. Where should we start?
Yeah, everybody's behaving badly this week. We could go from worst to least worst, or least worst to worst. Which way you want to go?
Let's talk about Asian racism, because it's kind of like
that's where I guess that's what we're going to talk about. So
I want to start with that. I mean, like, I kind of want to share my personal story because I just can't.
Didn't you say you told me like when you were growing up you got bullied a lot, right?
I got bullied the moment I stepped foot into America. Okay. Chinese, Japanese, lickety is something that's very common expression that I saw with the other kids. And my mom even told us a story about it, and I should play it because you can't really, and how she talked about, I was like 8 years old. I come to the United States. I don't know anything. I'm sitting on the bus and I look down. This little girl is literally doing the eye movement on me, Chinese, Japanese. I couldn't even speak English. But I knew that she was not being nice. So I got off the bus and I pushed her. Well, she told me to push her because back then when we were younger, people were always wanting to say, "No, you hit me first. No, you hit me first," because they say whoever hits the person first gets in trouble. Did you ever hear
Hmm.
that? So she told me to hit me, push her first, and I pushed her. So I got in trouble, and they called the principal. The principal called my mom. My mom asked me, and I told her what happened. And my mom told the principal, and they told the girl's mom, and they were embarrassed by it because they couldn't understand where their child learned that. And this is me at 8 years old. I'll be 54 years old this year. So I got, I grew up with that crap. I mean, we go to school. I hear it, go back where you belong. I'm like, oh, I'm here. You guys brought me here. The American soldiers brought me here. So at the end of the story, we're Americans, and for people to behave like this now, I mean, I think I got married at a young age when I was 16, just so that I could stop going to high school because I was racially beat up every day. I mean, like it was bad. So I mean, it's for me to hear that, and I didn't hear that. My son growing up, that didn't happen to him. None of that. But now here we are, 2021, and I start. I didn't say much about this on my social network. Maybe because I didn't want to 2020 was just such a turmoil year. I kind of kept looked down and worked, which is one of those things that I keep myself focused on. But 2020 racism toward Asian has been horrific. I mean, there was there were months before the shooting on Tuesday. Well, before, so we can jump into where we're going with this, is that before the shooting that Tuesday, before those three massage parlor got attacked, viciously attacked, there has been already stories. If you Google the word Asian, there'll be pages and pages of crime toward Asian people. And the crazy thing is, for a while, they
Well,
were just running up, punching the elderly, and running off. And a lot of these elderly fell down
so
on their head and died.
a lot of it has to do with our former Grand Supreme Leader, who's no longer president, who would say a lot of racist as fuck things like China virus, Kung flu, and all those terms shouldn't be coming out of somebody who's quote unquote a leader. If you're saying those things, you're not really a leader. You're just a bully, and that putting those things out there encouraged other bullies, and like even the guy, the
Back for a second.
PR guy
Also,
for the
social media,
huh?
social media amplifies all this. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, look
Social
at the guy, the PR
media,
guy. He posted something about the T-shirt, the coronavirus T-shirt.
oh, the sheriff.
Yeah, I just why are people making those shirts? And I mean, how despicable do you have to be to make that shirt to profit off of the coronavirus?
And people do crazy stuff, and that, and just like going on online, you have all these clickbait stuff going on. I mean, it's horrible. You really don't, people make money off of it. That's how they call it, capitalism, right? But when there's a point where you amplify so many messages and no one notices it, no one's took notice of it, no one was reporting on this kind of stuff happening to Asian communities. It was great. It was
Mhm.
very crazy last year. This year, with I think the finer straw, and when when the sheriff say what he said, I don't think it was meant. I think it was meant in a way that he didn't take the seriousness of what has happening. Like he's giving this guy an excuse, and it's I don't know. I don't want to go down this path, but it really bothered me about that.
Well, I'm a big martial arts fan and Asian cultural fan in general,
Hmm.
and let's go back to Bruce. I mentioned I saw Bruce Lee documentary a few weeks ago, and
But
it really
before we start, Jason, I do agree with
stuff.
you. We should not treat China gently. We should, put China where it is. I totally agree with you on that aspect. But right now,
Well,
what's
we should definitely we
happening in
should we
America?
should definitely be. You know what we should be doing to all the workers in the world? They should all have the rights that they have in the Western world and stuff like that. There's slavery going on basically in China, and that that they have 1 billion people over there, but they should treat their people with respect and everything like that. And some of these factories, they've got suicide prevention nets on the factories over there.
No, I know. But you're dealing with a communism. I mean, you don't really. You don't own
Oh
it.
yeah, I mean
You're the
it's not a they're not
So we live in America in our capitalistic way of thinking and living, yes, but you know, we have that freedom. And nowadays, because of the First Amendment, there's that freedom. But what is, you know, raising awareness of that is not, you know, the most important part.
Well, I just saw on the news today, you know, we have about 20 million Asian Americans in the country, and I never thought about how many Asian people there are in the country, but that's a significant percentage of the country. I mean, it's a small percentage, but there's still a significant amount of people in the country, you know. And getting back to what I was trying to say, you know, the explosion of like Asian culture in Western culture goes back to Bruce Lee, which is not that long ago if you think about it. It's only like 50, 60 years ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But look at before Bruce Lee, you know, a lot of Asian roles were white people pretending to be Asian.
And did they cancel yet?
Huh?
I mean, remember Shirley MacLaine? Didn't she like did a whole Asian look too? I mean, like, did she get canceled? So we're getting sidetracked. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's so many mixture in this country. That's why they call it the melting pot, right? But the fact that you know, finally some crazy, you know, people are talking about this. We were raised. I was raised not to talk about this. You know, I got beat up every day. The cops would come to the house. You know, they asked me, did somebody beat you up? I'm standing with black eyes, and I'm like, no, I didn't get in a fight. There was nothing. You know, I show up to school the next day and get in more fights. I mean, that's the norm for what my childhood was. But for me to live in 2021, to hear this shit, some guy comes off the street, shoots women and something because he's supposed to have a sex addiction and all this, and you know, and well, you know, the two massage parlor that guy shot up. Why didn't he just shoot the you know, the strip club called Platinum right next to it? I mean, it's a sex addiction, temptation. So at the end of the day, you know, if he went in there specifically to do harm, then, and based on what? I mean, come on. And you're right, Jason, we should not give China credit in any way because China does not want our success. So we all know that. So I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I'm in America. I'm raised in America. I was raised to believe in the American way. You work hard, you pay your taxes, you do good to your community, great things will happen. Okay, that's how I was raised. I didn't feel entitled. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't even get a student loan putting myself through college. But what I do know is I think I got married at 16, so that I didn't have to go to high school anymore. It just dawned on me. I swear to God, I got married at 16. I went and actually went to another high school because my husband and I moved into this apartment. I was 16 years old. I went to Winter Park High, and those people looked at me in weird. So I went and got my GED and I started college. So that's what racism has done for me in my lifetime. And I tell people that all the time. I don't have a single problem talking about it, but I find that, you know, when you suffer from PTSD from it, it's traumatic. You know, I talked to my cousin. She's like, I don't even leave my house after dark. That's fucked up. To be able to put that much fear into a generation that's been tortured like that. Think about that. So let's change the subject. Last night I was watching the news and they showed two women fighting. And they were fighting over wearing a mask. And they were like, they had a full-on fight. Like, oh my gosh. I want to show this video. It's crazy. Women fighting Fort Lauderdale Airport. That was at 6 p.m. last night.
Oh, that was down here?
Yes. They didn't go to jail or anything like the girls in Miami. Okay, here we go. Fight breaks out. Okay, here. And before I start, I am going to share my screen. We're going to use everything on Facebook here. Share, right? I'm going to share screen, flights. Okay, can you see the screen or no?
Yeah, I can. Barely. I'm on my phone, not the computer, so.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the video. And
hey there, we're Brooklinen. We're working from our homes to make the most comfortable things for yours.
I hate these ads.
Sheets, towels, and loungewear.
I hate these ads. Skip ad. I have this on my big screen TV. Okay, here we go.
And now, terminal trouble. Passengers refusing to put on their masks turns up. flight into a fight.
Frustrated passengers not happy that their flight was delayed because of the 3 who refused to cover up.
A tense exchange between them unfolding. 7's Franklin White shows us what happened next.
Fists flying after a flight turns into a fight at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. BSO telling us this vicious and viral video took place Wednesday in the American Airlines terminal. Cops say that brawl blew up when they were forced off a flight to Chicago for refusing to wear a mask. And once off the flight, they were met with furious and frustrated passengers who didn't like having to wait. The 3 women who were escorted by deputies were greeted with rounds of boos when at some point words were exchanged and a fight broke out.
Oh my God.
The women seen punching and pulling hair as deputies tried their best to break it all up. Travelers
And I was just talking about
shocked
fighting.
by the madness.
Fighting for what? What are you fighting over? And they're total strangers, right? These people didn't know each other before? I don't understand.
A similar situation at MIA.
This is pretty crazy. She's refusing to exit the plane.
These 2 women appearing in court after getting into a physical fight with federal agents who were removing them from a plane. One even threatening an officer with a weapon.
Claims that she has a knife in her purse, was spitting in the face of a federal agent. The co-defendant punched the agent in the face.
What? Is you serious? And back to that fight here, there were no arrests. Reporting at FLL.
Can you believe there was no arrest? Okay, what am I doing here? So, can you believe that?
That's just bad behavior. I didn't know that was in Broward.
Yeah. So
here in FLL.
So just know, crazy stuff can happen. So there's that. I wanted to talk about that today. I feel like I wear a mask to be kind to people, but when I'm walking around my neighborhood or I'm outside, I'm not gonna wear a mask. And I think
I'm pretty much the same way. If I'm out in the open area or whatever, I'm not wearing a mask. If I'm in my car, I'm not wearing a mask. If I go into a store, I put a mask on. It's pretty simple. If they have a sign there that says mask required, I'm gonna follow, the simple rule of saying, if you want to go in here, you're gonna wear a mask. So I try to, do the social, 6 feet social distancing thing and, respecting other people's space and boundaries. And like I said the last show, I hope that the, whoever Publix whatever position that is where the person is just cleaning the carts at Publix, I hope that doesn't go away. I think our like I said, the statistics for flu are non-existent right now, I guess, because
kind of weird,
flu isn't being transmitted around.
Kind of weird.
Well, I mean, you have to look at I guess you have to look at the bright side. 150 to 200 young people die from the flu every year. I guess only one person died this flu season, so that's at least a little silver lining in this whole thing.
Well, actually, I want to kind of I didn't really want to talk about COVID, but I work with doctors, and I remember last year when 15 minutes antibody test came out, and if you recall, I was the one talking about it. And then one doctor's objection was that, you could have antibodies after having a flu, and it will pick up as an antibodies also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we're, doing all this stuff and people are getting vaccinated.
Well, the story I wanted to talk about was the same type of thing. Dude goes into a Jack in the Box, and the manager tells him, shove off. You're not wearing a mask. I don't know if there's a video. There probably is surveillance video because I saw it on the news. But the dude comes back in and stabs him.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I just told you about it before the show.
I did that before though,
and this. Oh, you did? Well, You know, and the other story with the girls and the young ladies with the Uber or Lyft ride,
Oh yeah.
coughing on the driver. I mean, really? You're going to go in there and
Media
you're going to cough on the
influencer.
driver? Huh?
She's a social media influencer. Oops.
Yeah, she could go influence herself, I guess. So.
She's arrested. So.
Yeah, and I think Uber kicked her off the service, and if she doesn't have a car, good luck with her getting around now. So I guess she can do whatever. But I also think that the Uber people are using. I saw this in another story. They're using like the way they open the windows in the car.
Yeah.
They're opening like the one front window and one back window to get a cross ventilation thing going. So the big companies are thinking of ways of helping instead of hurting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it that all these people are just acting so badly, poorly?
Oh, what about the kid at the Spring Breakers? The kid that got arrested or something, who's sitting in and they recorded it and they put it on TikTok. His friend opened the door and let him out, and literally the cop's car is being surrounded by the Spring Breakers. Okay, this kid comes running. All these people ran with him, and the cops caught up to the kid, but it was recorded, and the kid who videotaped it and said he's going to become famous over this, he got arrested. He's going to become famous, all right. It's called internet famous. That's not really a good way to get famous. So yeah, and the thing
Spring Breakers.
Did you ever spring?
Yeah, the Spring Breakers just make me shake my head every year.
Did you ever do spring break? Did you ever did you ever go out to Fort Lauderdale do spring break? Like I did spring break. I did Daytona Beach. I went to Valencia Community College. I would in the morning early, and then when we're done, it was spring break time. We go. I'm the one that drives. I didn't drink that back then, so I take my friends and we go there. And MTV was there. Yeah, it was 1985. It was good times.
I guess thankfully I never engaged in such childishness.
Such childishness. That's part of that's such a good times. Good times.
Well, the main complaint I have about the Spring Breakers is that these kids are supposed to be college educated or somewhat college educated. They don't know how to use a wastebasket.
Oh my God! You know what we used to do when? Let's see. In 1986, I moved back to Florida, but then my babies are barking. So we went to Fort Lauderdale for spring break. My boyfriend and I back then and his college. They all came down from the bus from upstate New York. They came down, and so we stayed there. You should have seen the hotel rooms. Instead of throwing away the beer cans, they used it as window covering. So the whole beer can and all that. Like this sort. That's Fort Lauderdale. Is mid-80s. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I still remember last year when this whole thing started, they closed the strip down.
Yeah.
So, and now everybody's just wandering around there with no masks on and everything. So.
Well, I mean,
I think it's
they're outside because they figured it's not. They're outside.
Mm-hmm. It's just the whole thing's super frustrating, and I don't know. When do you think we're gonna get out of this? We just hit. I think they announced today we just hit 100 million people vaccinated.
And you know that there's more COVID. COVID is going up in areas that have more people vaccinated.
Which sounds to be opposite of what it should be, right? You would think the numbers would be going down.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. But what else I wanted to talk about this week that was incredible besides the crazy Asian hate and all the different crazy mass people doing crazy mass stuff. Oh, wasn't there
the grandmom lady?
Oh yes, the grandma lady. Oh my God, the grandma lady. I saw that video. I couldn't believe it. Could you imagine just standing there and someone comes up and punches you? I mean, she probably
imagine being that guy for the rest of his life, and people are going to be like, "Oh, you're the guy that got beat up by that little Asian grandmom lady."
Yeah, she was in shock. But no one really comforted her. She was like, I felt so bad for her. She was in shock. And meanwhile, the guy's laying on the bed. They're taking care of his bruise and shit. But the poor lady, she has a bag of ice, but she's not. No, I mean, it was sad to see her like that. And for what? Why did he do that? He just saw an Asian woman just standing there and just decided to come up and punch her because that's what he saw. It was cool to do. No, that's not right. But
we need to make doing good deeds cool again.
Right? Well, here's another one that just got crazy. So then we'll get off the bad news one. So what happened in Alabama and Tennessee? A tornado went through there?
Yeah, there was a bad patch of tornado alley weather. It started in Texas like 3 days ago, and then it just started sweeping eastward.
Wow.
I guess Florida's getting the tail end of it right now up in the Panhandle, and I guess we're going to have some cold weather. We're going to have some cold weather. It's going to get in the 60s for Florida. Brr, 60s. So
well, it affects people here. We're so used to weather.
Well, the other thing that's weird, I don't know the name of the tree, but you know that tree that gets the yellow flowers here in Florida?
Yeah, I have one. It looks like a dime.
Okay. That tree is supposed to bloom around the first week of spring.
Mm-hmm.
Those trees all bloomed like on February, like late February.
Yeah,
they bloomed like 3 weeks. They bloomed 3 or 4 weeks early.
But then now it's brown. Like it's still yellow, but the tree itself looks weird.
You know how do you want to say the problem or whatever? You know what I mean?
Are we in El Nino or El Nina? Are we any of
I'll have
the?
to look that up, because the weather, we've had a lot of these weather things. Like we had that crazy weather in Texas a few weeks ago, where they got the cold thing going through.
Ever. So I'm gonna Google happiness right now. Oh, you know the Food and Wine Weekend. You have to show. You have to show either a negative test or a vaccine to be able to enter.
Oh, you're talking about the Winterfest wine thing?
Yeah, I thought it was called Food and Wine Weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, again, they're doing common sense things. I mean, if you're going to have a big event, you're going to have to do the right thing to make it at least safe. I thought they did a smart thing with the Super Bowl. They only had a fraction of the Super Bowl, and the NFL did a nice thing where they gave a lot of healthcare workers free tickets to the Super Bowl. I thought that was really nice.
I think it's gone. You can do hybrid events. I think it's good. People can have.
I like the virtual thing. Listen, I like we could do this here. Our bandwidth's good enough. We could talk. It's almost like we're here sitting at the same table. Save some gas. I want to go and open a restaurant and tear it up like we used to do. That'd be cool too. Have some sake or some wine or beer or whatever, and have some people there, people showing up, and remember the good old times we had people. And you can hug somebody and shake their hand, and
I know I hugged some people. It wasn't by choice at first. Some people just hug me, and I'm like, I caught myself like.
Tonya, you could totally hug me. I'm very huggable.
I know, but I'm kind of like I don't like hugging anybody. See, I get PTSD. I get PTSD from this stuff. But I have gratitude. I have gratitude for a lot of things. So one of them is you, Dean.
Maybe you know what? Tonya? You know what I think the problem might be? I think a lot of these people might not be getting hugs.
That could be it. They all need hugs.
Like Jack in the Box guy. He definitely could have used a fucking hug. These 2 girls down in the airport. Maybe they could have used a hug. The guy that attacked the grandmom Asian lady. Maybe he needed a goddamn hug. This guy up here that shot up all the the spas up in Atlanta. He definitely needed a hug. Hell, he had sex addiction.
No, he's a racist. This is a racial thing.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it's the spin they try and put on things is just I guess they're repeating exactly what he said, but I don't know. It's just.
Or did he really say that, or they just came up with it for him?
No, I think he really said it and they repeated it. That's how stupid it probably is. You know? But I mean, no matter how bad of a day you're having, don't go shooting up people. I mean, just that would be like a common sense, nice thing to not do.
Right? Well,
You know?
it's the sad part about all this. So, but on that note, I think it's about that time. Did you have another story you want to share? I feel like I took over my whole thing over here.
No, not really. But I mean, you know, people, you know, I guess everybody's got cabin fever the last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's stressed out or whatever. You know, maybe we should do a hug thing or something. But try and stay positive, I guess, and try and be positive. You know, because a lot of this shit that happened this last week of people behaving badly just didn't have to happen. You know, like these girls that coughing on the Uber driver, or these people in the airport. You know, the Jack in the Box guy. You know,
This market store. This is another story. This lady was weird. She like raises money for the Tibetan Buddhists, and she's down this. She calls this couple, this like, go back to China, the Asian,
mm-hmm.
and it's like the guy recorded her saying, "What, isn't that where you're from?" And he's like, "I'm from this country." Well, apparently, first she started doing that. Guess who? She's a daughter of a senator, a Democratic senator, and she's worth $6 million. She's all about social media and all this stuff. And now, you know how they found her? It was her mask. Her mask.
Really?
Yep. It was from a place, from a colony. I don't know. I guess a location called Colony, and they said that
Mm-hmm.
and that's how she was discovered that who she was based on her.
You know what? Actually, I have one good story I saw on the news this week. Maybe we should try and get this girl on the show. There's a young lady out there who's a beekeeper,
Mm-hmm.
and she apparently can do beekeeping without wearing the protective suit and mask and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going in there, and you know, bees are a problem in some areas. I guess they invade people's houses.
Jason is a beekeeper. Jason Pellish.
Jason, okay.
Well,
it's quite remarkable that she's doing it without the protective gear, and she's a big star on TikTok. I actually saw 2 of her videos on my timeline today. I'm like, wow. You know, I just saw her on the news, but apparently she's going in there and saving the bees, and you know, there's a big bee problem right now. So it's good that we have these beekeeper people who could go out there and do the bee removal. You know, if you get your house infested and stuff like that. And you know, she takes the bees and, you know, make sure they're productive bees and happy bees, I guess. So I think it's quite remarkable she does it without the protective gear. So, you know, that might be the energy she puts out. You know what I mean? Like, she's calm and doesn't panic around the bees, and that probably keeps them from attacking her. You know, if you put out that pheromone of fear or whatever, those animals could probably detect that. You know what I mean?
Yep. What is that?
What is that?
I don't know.
Is that your alarm? What the hell?
What was that? I didn't do that.
You did. It's not me.
It's not me.
It's totally you.
Did I get hacked? Was I hacked? No. Okay, I went on this side. I can see us. And then it's so weird. I'm looking at us talking.
Okay.
But then when I came back to here, it was like some weird noise.
It sounded like animals. Like it sounded like birds and.
Yeah.
So have you seen that beekeeper girl that I was talking about?
No.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. She's big on TikTok.
Okay. Well, TikTok is doing a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't go on TikTok because, you know, I don't know. My friend told me not to go on TikTok. So I'll go on TikTok later. I'm trying to be good at one thing, so I think I'm gonna stick to live streaming. I can't be on. I can't be everything, you know. And really, you can have 10 million followers. Does not mean they're gonna buy. I want to kind of like fine tune it. Good content. So that's all we need. So
I just thought she was like the one. She was like the one good news story I saw this week, though.
that's good.
So there was just one story in the news that was good news.
And
So,
Jason says, I heard the noise. It's the bees. Someone hacked us. Was that the bees going after us? That's hilarious. Okay, Dean, on that note, I'm going to download because I want to do this in 30 minutes. So we'll keep track of
is that
all.
our time?
Yeah, let me check. I have it on a time. I downloaded an app for this. And yeah, it ended.
Okay.
So you restarted our Follow Friday Twitter page?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you to register and see if Twitter lets you have a space. They will, because I sent you a Google Doc. Just fill out all the information and tell them what we're going to talk about, which is tech and stuff like that. And
okay.
We can go from there. Yeah, so like we can talk more about events too next week because I want to really focus, raise awareness on hybrid events. Hybrid events are so much better.
Speaking of which, you know what? I'll have to get a screenshot of this, but I saw one of my friends on Facebook got a severe ban warning where they were like, "We're gonna turn your Facebook Live abilities off if you get banned or something like that."
Really?
Yeah.
But they're not the only place you can live stream.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm gonna do from now on is all the times I say something that's borderline or offensive, I'm just gonna use GIFs.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just use GIFs from now on, and then you just have to figure it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna use GIFs.
So I watch what is it that I didn't get watch a Scotty watch, but the one that everyone's waiting for, League of Legends, is that what it's called? The 4-hour movie. That's
the Snyder Cut.
Yes, it's 4 hours.
The Snyder Cut.
Yeah, Scotty watched it already. I couldn't commit, so maybe this weekend I'll commit.
Okay. Well, Zack Snyder's he's pretty good. He did 300, so he's
love 300.
He's got a definite style to his stuff. So I don't know if you know this, but he I guess he lost his daughter during the original production of the movie.
Really? No, I didn't know.
His daughter. Yeah, his daughter either committed suicide. Something happened. I think it was a suicide or something. And he had to bow out from doing the film. And then they brought in Joss, whose name I always screw up, Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
So that's why I guess when you have two fingers in the pie, that kind of screws things up a little bit. So I've been hearing good things about it overall, but the 4-hour runtimes, that's a bit much. But again, we're home. You can watch it in the comfort of your home now. So
stream, man, it's 4 hours, crazy. So it's on HBO Max. And also, I think it's on Apple TV. Well, then you go to I think it's HBO Max. So we have that. So I'm gonna watch it this weekend. So that's my excitement. So everybody have a great day. And if you want to be on any of our live stream, we're gonna be going into audio spaces. So I have invites for Clubhouse, but it only does iPhone, so it's not really fit for the. I mean, we will eventually go on there, but right now I think I'd focus on Twitter Spaces and to go back to audio where we started in the first place, and still do these type of live stream. But I like that. I want to try the Twitter audio spaces. And now that we do this so that we'll upload everything and we live stream it out later.
Well, I'm just going to say this right now. It's going to be a cold day in hell when I get an iPhone.
Okay. I live in iPhone world, so yeah. And then I'll upload these later, so it'll be on social chats and our YouTube page and on Twitter and all this stuff. And well, I think our Follow Friday website's done. We just got to put some content in it. So Dean will have to work on that. Okay. That's gonna be Dean's.
I'll look at the Spaces thing and get it sorted out today. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. If you could do it, I could do it. So.
Yeah, I can do it. Anyone can do it. So get. You want to?
Well, I wasn't trying to insult you, but I was just saying I'm pretty sure I could do it. You know.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if I can do it, you can do it. Don't forget. So everybody, have a great day. Email us. Email me, Tonya, Tonya, @socialchats.net. Follow us on Twitter for the main page is Social Chats. Our show is Social Chats FF, and the main Twitter page is Social Chats SF, because someone took the other one, remember? And then we have Social Chats. So
somebody still squatting on that?
Yeah.
Squatters,
right? I feel like reporting them.
Yeah.
I think I should report them. They haven't even tweeted. I think they just got it because I shouldn't have told them people what I was going to call it. So if you come up with an idea, folks, don't tell other people until you get your Twitter handle, all your social media handle. Get all the stuff out of the way get your URL, Twitter, everything that you need, right, Dean? Because there's those people out there, they'll sit there and buy it and they'll charge you for it. So. And what was I saying again? So, and we also have a Google business page too. So if you want to pop in there and want to sign up or, give us a good review, go ahead. And if you want to follow Dean, you're the dude Dean.
I'm the dude Dean everywhere.
He's the dude Dean. And I'm known as No Aging, KNOWAGING, and it's produced by No Agent Inc., which is my communication company. But if you have some great ideas, new things that are happening, let us know. Reach out to us. And again, you want to check out our socialchats.co, which is our magazine section. So check it out. Read up some stories, and we got videos, everything. So again, everybody have a great day, and we will be back next Friday. Bye, Dean.